guys, so we have an urgent breaking news coming out. Very important update. I just posted a video not too long ago. 3 B-52 bombers were heading towards the Gulf of America. One of them just turned around, which is Pappy 12. After crossing over the Gulf of America alongside Pappy 11 earlier, likely en route to the Southern Caribbean, Pappy 12, a U.S. Air Force B-52 bombers assigned to the bomber barons of the 23rd Bomb Squadron, 5th Bomb Wing, has turned around and is now heading northeast over the southeastern United States. That's kind of strange, though. It's heading towards the southeast. Okay, so Pappy 12 just made a U-turn. And we have this one here. You have Pappy 11. Whoa, it's heading towards the Caribbean. Alright, so Pappy 12 made a U-turn. Pappy 11 seems like it's heading towards the Caribbean. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Alright, let's see what's going on here. So it says, let's see what's going on with this one. While Pappy 12 appears to be returning to Minot Air Force Base, possibly the result of a mechanical issue. Whoa. The other B-52 Pappy 11 is continuing on towards Venezuela, currently crossing the Yucatan Channel into the Caribbean Sea. Alright, so it passed Mexico, and that was quick. But it seems like Pappy 12, there might be some issue going on with that B-52 bomber. Someone asks, where's Pappy 13? And he responded saying, preparing to land back at Minot. So it seems like 2 of the B-52 made a U-turn. This one here is still going towards the Caribbean. Because there were 3. There were 3 earlier today. Yeah, there were 3. So it was the Pappy 13, the Pappy 11, and the Pappy 12. The Pappy 11 is the one that's continuing towards the Caribbean. Is getting closer to that area. The other 2 seems like made a U-turn. So what's going to happen now, guys? Well, again, we do have some updates here about Venezuela. I want to share with you. U.S. allies issued travel warnings again for Venezuela as the U.S. president targets Nicholas. Alright, so this is an update. Newsweek has put out another update about this one here. Germany! This time it's Germany. Germany updated its travel advice for Venezuela on Monday, warning citizens that the security situation there is tense and could rapidly deteriorate as the president deploys warships to the Caribbean to pressure Nicholas over the gang. Now, Donald is weighing his options, including striking Venezuela and attempting to topple Nicholas. Now, it came a day after the UK issued new travel advice for Venezuela, warning that flights were being canceled at short notice by airlines amid the situation in the Caribbean. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration had warned pilots on Friday to exercise caution when flying over Venezuela because of dangers posed by the security situation. So the changing travel advice comes as US is set to ramp up its pressure on the Venezuelan gov by designating another group, the Gang, as a foreign tea organization allegedly led by Nicholas. It will be the latest measures aimed at cutting off the gang smuggling into our sleeping giant country, alongside escalating military maneuvers in the Caribbean and Pacific Ocean, which the White House insists are necessary despite concerns from within the U.S. and from its allies that a larger conflict could be about to begin. See, this is the one we talked yesterday. Airlines cancel flight after military activity warning for Venezuela. This is the news article from yesterday. The one that I'm reading to you is today. Very important update. Yesterday, Nicholas posted, seems like a video. He's dancing out there. He's trying to mimic Donald. You know how Donald dances? It seems like Nicholas is trying to mock him, but I wouldn't dance. I wouldn't dance. The U.S. Commander Administration has rapidly built up its forces in the Caribbean and repeatedly struck what it has said were gang-operated drug boats carrying the illicit of the drugs to the U.S., often taking those on board. Now, Donald accuses Nicholas of heading up a lucrative mafia, which he denies, and profiting from the illegal drug trade in the U.S. The situation in Venezuela is currently tense, said the Foreign Office in Berlin in its new Venezuela advisory, originally in German. Further deterioration of the security situation is possible at any time, even at short notice. This could lead to nationwide roadblocks, increased police checks, and disruptions to travel, as well as additional restrictions on mobile networks and internet access. Germany was not alone in urging its residents to avoid traveling to the South American country, with South Korea also issuing an update Friday, imposing a travel ban on the border states of Zulia, Táchira, Upper, and Sucre, excluding their respective capitals in the eastern part of Zulia. The rest of the country remains under a warning, which urges South Koreans to leave the area. Man, this thing is getting really hot. And now those B-52 bombers, it's a wake-up call. The UK warning on Sunday advised British people to avoid all areas within 80 kilometers, 50 miles of the Venezuelan borders with Colombia and Brazil, as well as Zulia state, citing ongoing criminal activity as well as sudden flight cancellation and a rising chance of conflict in the region. On Friday, the FAA urged airline operators to exercise caution when flying in the region due to the worsening security situation and heightened military activity in or around Venezuela. Now it says here the agency warned that planes at all altitudes, could be at risk. At least 6 airlines then canceled flights to the country, with flight data showing several carriers avoiding Caracas' main airport Saturday. So what people are saying, well, Colombian President Gustavo, posting originally in Spanish on X Sunday, there must be normal flights to all countries in Latin America, from Latin America and the world. Countries are not blocked because people are blocked, and that must be a crime against humanity. No state of one country should interfere in the affairs of another state. Multilateralism must transition to gov by global laws, global justice, and global regulation, and everything that could end life on the planet, such as the climb, you know what, or artificial intelligence, or essential medicines, global telecommunications. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told One American Network in an interview Thursday, "We know exactly who we are targeting, why we are targeting them, what they are carrying. The U.S. can track and hunt cells and these gangs better than any country in the world. So what's next? Other countries may follow." There you go. Other countries may follow suit in issuing travel warnings, with the U.S. ramping up its operations around Venezuela in the coming days and weeks. Wow. So something big is coming. We don't know when, but multiple countries are canceling flights to Venezuela. At the same time, you got some B-52 bombers. Some stuff is going down. Give me a second here. I want to pull up some of this information here. Once again, for those of you that don't know, I have to bring this one up too. This is very important. So today was an important day. And that's the reason why I think some of these countries are canceling flights now. Today, the U.S. has recognized these gangs as the terror, you know what, organization. It was basically passed today, designated foreign T organization, November 24, 2025. There you go. Ooh, look at that. Even Antif. Wow. Okay, so in other words, ladies and gentlemen, we have enemies within and close to our land. Man. As of this morning, November 24, 2025, I'm going to skip their name, the gangs, a Venezuelan lawlessness and product organization alleged to be led by Nicholas and high-ranking members of the Armed Forces of Venezuela, has been officially designated as a foreign T organization by the sleeping giant State Department. The designation will allow for sanctions and other financial restrictions to be placed against the organization, its leaders and members, as well as any other group or individual that supports them, while potentially providing legal justifications for military strikes against sites affiliated with the group across Venezuela. Ever since that message came out this morning, all of a sudden, you have certain countries out there canceling flights to Venezuela. Give me a second here, guys. I want to see if there's any more updates. So one B-52 bomber is still heading towards the Caribbean. So we already know that. Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, it seems like this is all of it here, guys. And like I said, I would keep it updated with these B-52s. But again, there's been some stuff going down. U.S. pressure campaign against Venezuela has entered a new phase, with a gang allegedly associated with Nicholas being classified as a T organization. The possibility of kinetic action has increased significantly, and our countries are sounding the alarm. They're canceling flights. War planes in the air. Just a matter of time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.